Hey everyone, Mimi here. I'm going to show you a do-it-yourself facial gua sha today. So first off, I have my skin already cleansed, nice and clean. I used the Circadia Micro Exfoliating Honey Cleanser. This is really nice because it gently exfoliates, getting the dead skin cells off, but also hydrates, not drying out your skin. So another thing you'll need is some sort of facial oil. Now, because of my skin type, I normally use a face serum, but it soaks into the skin too quickly for gua sha. So I use jojoba oil or jojoba oil, however you like to pronounce it. I just add between 3 to 5 drops, depending how my skin's feeling during the day. And you can use any facial oil that you prefer. Jojoba oil is nice because it mimics the skin's natural oils and is non-comedogenic, which means it's not going to clog up your pores. So as you can see, my skin is naturally a little reactive to touch. It gets pink easily. So I'm just spreading around the oil, making sure I get it all around. And here I have my gua sha tool. So this one is a facial one specifically. It has 2 little nubs there, and we'll get into that for like the facial sculpting. So first, if you have a lot of cheek like I do, or you might have a little bit of looser skin, the gua sha tool might get kind of stuck as you're moving. So I like to kind of just hold the skin taut a bit. That way it glides easily over the skin. And we'll start by just doing some warm-up, broad strokes, starting from the middle of the forehead, going out to the end of the eyebrow. And then we'll make upward strokes on the cheeks. Again, nice broad strokes. I'm not using a lot of pressure. I'm using a little bit of pressure. Here I changed to the more curved end for right under my chin area. And then I'm doing a gentle stroke down the neck, just to kind of move the lymph. So I'm doing upward strokes and then gently moving down to move the lymph into the lymph nodes. This helps with any puffiness. It also helps with redness and inflammation. All right, so you can already kind of see a difference going on here. So now we're going to use the nub part for some sculpting. So I always have like the structure of my face. You can use either way that you prefer there. So here I'm just sculpting the jaw, and I use that nub for a little bit of trigger point therapy on my jaw here, just because I tend to clench my jaw. It feels really nice to massage that out. So I do a little wiggle at the end. And I like to go like over my lips, get a nice lifting and plumping there. So the structure of the face, like the cheekbones and jaw, will go in between those nubs just for a sculpting effect. And we're doing upward motions. Again, I'm holding my skin taut so that it glides nice and easy. I'm not using a lot of pressure, and the gua sha tool is sort of at an angle, so it's not directly pushing into the skin. And I love doing an eyebrow lift here. Very gentle around this area. The occipital bone is very delicate, so I use much lighter pressure here. So here I'm going to take the flatter side again and do some upward strokes, side to side, get those 11 lines from squinting at the computer here. And also, if you tend to get those 11 lines just from concentrating. So I said, yes, the redness is good. I tend to get it more on my forehead, but that just means I'm getting a lot of blood flow there. It's also more bony structure, so I tend to get redness there easier. Once it starts turning red or pink, I do move on to a different area. And then here I'm just using broad strokes again, just to kind of finish up. So on the face, I move towards the ear, as you see, and then on the neck, I'm doing a lifting motion, and then again, moving towards the ear, and then down the neck to move the lymph away. And here's a picture, just you can kind of compare sides already. All right, So I'll just briefly go over the other side in my normal speed, and then you can just kind of see how I do it on a normal basis. So here again, you can see that I move on as soon as the skin starts to turn like a pink or red, just because I don't want to overwork the area. The facial skin is a lot more delicate than the rest of the body, so I don't want to cause any bruising or red hickey-like marks called petechia. They're like these red sort of bumps or like almost that kind of hickey looking marks from the capillaries. So I definitely don't want that on my face. All right, so we're starting to finish up here. So I do want to point out that you want to avoid the thyroid area and just stay right below the jawline there, avoiding the front of the throat. We don't want to go over that delicate structure there. I like to hold my hand there actually, just so it's like almost a guard. And again, we're moving towards the ear, down the neck. So here's a before picture. Took that right before I started filming, and then here's the after picture. You can see I have a lot more glow and just vibrancy. And then I'm just finishing up by, again, moving the lymph here, rubbing in the rest of the oil, moving in those same stroke directions towards the ear and then down the neck. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy this and use this as part of your self-care.